Hello, welcome to Fox Sports Lab AFL prelim week, Chief. Who would have thought Collingwood and the Giants are going to shape up this Friday night, and then Brisbane and Carlton. I've been on them all year, and they're going to.
You are the worst. But I tell you what, you collected last week. You did a good job. I played it safe and got punished. Didn't go with the form teams. Oh well, it's going to be hard because they're all form teams this weekend.
No, they are. But let's talk about who bowed out and their report cards. So Melbourne, pretty critical. Second year in a row, straight sets in finals footy. So albeit their home and away was strong, they've fallen over once again. So where did you grade the Melbourne Footy Club?
Well, I think it's similar report cards for both of the teams that bowed out because they played a really good year to get themselves a double chance, but then couldn't do anything come September. So for me, it's a B-.
Yep, I thought a B- as well. Port Adelaide was...
I got to tell you, before we leave Melbourne, they've got to do something with their forward line, mate. They've got some serious problems there, so they need to recruit another really good forward.
Well, the Brody Grundy's backfired. It has.
Yep.
But, you suck and see as footy clubs. But what's the answer? Is it another key or is it another two keys?
I think they need another key. I think Van Ryan's a good one that's going to develop, but they need another key forward as well. Someone that they can rely on to be consistent.
All right, well, Port Adelaide, their report card for me. I'm going to jump in because I don't want people to think that we're just going, I'm just going to copy you. I had them at a C. I thought they were ordinary in finals footy. And to be fair, after their big run through the middle of the year, that was a disappointing end.
Yeah, look, I gave them a B- the same as Melbourne because I think they, at different stages during the year when they had that big run, they looked one of the best teams in the competition. But unfortunately, their run had ended by the time they got into the business end of the season in September. So they've got some problems structurally as well. They've certainly got problems down back. They've already moved to address that, or trying to get Radagalier and Zerk Thatcher from Essendon. They've got a ruckman coming in Sweet from the Bulldogs. So they're heavily invested in recruiting already. But I think they've got problems at the forward end as well. Big Charlie's always held together by plenty of bandages from one week to the next. So it's a worry. Young Ollie Lord's going to take a while to develop. And Marshall's, he's okay, but they just lack something when they desperately need it. They need a gun small forward, I think, Port Adelaide.
Charlie Dixon reminds me of Tough Man when they said bring out the sticky tape for Bruce Reid. They were just bringing out tape willy-nilly to just keep him together. Let's talk about Friday night, though. Collingwood the Giants. The Giants, no one can believe what Adam Kingsley's done in his first year as coach, but they are a serious threat. The tsunami is one thing, but their attack, everything is pointing towards them, pushing Collingwood to right to the end.
It's going to be a cracking game, isn't it? I mean, we're in Adelaide to watch that one, and the pace, not just what they move the ball with, but their leg speed across the ground. They were just far too quick for Port Adelaide, and their work rate. It's aggressive. They work up and back. They've got some great runners. So they are going to take it up to Collingwood. It's going to be a cracking match. Now, we've got to remember that Collingwood got hold of the Giants earlier in the year, smashed them by 10 or 11 goals. But that was way back in round 9, before they got any momentum up and running. So now they're a very, very different team, and they come in chock full of confidence. Yep. And the first thing you got to do, Digger, is you've got to stop Toby Green. How do you do it?
No, you don't. And it's impossible. And I know there was debate during the week, where's he sit with the small forwards, but he is just a great finisher. Like
who do you put on him? You put Braden Maynard on him?
Oh, to be fair, you probably do. But, yeah, he's probably the impossible matchup. But one thing I do love about Collingwood stats, when they've led it three-quarter time, they're 14.
They don't get beat.
They don't get beat. So Giants have got to land the first blow. And as you said, full strength pretty much for both teams. So we're going to get an absolute cracker. So you're going with the Pies and I'm going with the Pies?
Yeah, I just can't get off them. I've been on them all year. I love it. But you're right, they both got full lists. Taylor Adams misses for Collingwood. Nick Dacos comes in, so great to see him back. That's a massive inclusion. It only strengthens them. And the only issue GWS had was Kieran Briggs, and we think he's going to be okay. So 2 full-strength teams ready to go.
Yep, I like it. All right, let's go to the Gabba. Undefeated. So they're the hunted by Carlton who have just come from nowhere. Lucky I gave them all the momentum through the year to just push them through. But prelim week, they travel to the Gabba. They're unbeaten. And it's been, 10 years since they've won a final?
Yeah, just a decade or so since the Blues have won up at the Gabba to go.
Oh, no. Well, you got to hang your hat on something, but they are believers. So this one, you'd be shattered if Brisbane lost theirs, considering what they've done at home and the form they've been in. They've sort of been the sleeping giant under Collingwood, who got all the raps during the year, haven't they?
Yeah, look, they've been brilliant, Carlton. We can't underestimate it, but I'm expecting Brisbane to stand up. The concern for me, from a Carlton perspective, as good as they've been, is I worry about their ability down back to manage Brisbane's forward line.
Yep.
We know Wiedering's a great player, and then you throw in McGovern, who's at Kemp, Marchbank, these types. I don't know who gets the job on Charlie Cameron. It's going to be a really interesting matchup, but I just think there's potential if Brisbane get enough ball forward, and they're very good at scoring once they get it inside 50. I think they might be able to kick a winning score.
So you reckon that's where the Achilles heel is? Down defence for the Carlton?
Yeah, against Brisbane, I think it is, yeah. I just think Brisbane are packing too many guns, a little bit too diverse up forward for the Blues' defence. We know the Blues are going to take it up to Brisbane in the midfield. Their scoring from clearances and stoppages is second to none. What they can get done up forward. It's going to be interesting. Now, what are your thoughts on big Harry Mackay being back in? Jack Martin comes back in as well. I mean, they're big names coming back into the forward mix.
Yep.
What impact does Mackay being back have for the Blues?
Well, I've been critical all year, to be fair. When he was out, I didn't want to bring him back because the functionality of the forward line was huge. And you get criticised for that.
Yep.
But sometimes, you don't play your salary cap. You play your best team and you play your best structure and who's going to be obviously going to kick your winning score. And we know what happened in his last final before he was knocked out. So that plays on his mind. I think they're a better forward line without him. But if you do play him, you probably got to play him deep because Charlie Curnow can just get up nice and high and he's doing his damage up high. So, yeah, to be honest, it's a bold call not to play him, but that's where I sit.
So you're probably swapping him around and letting Curnow get further up the ground, even though he's been the main goal kicker, which is interesting. Yeah. And we shouldn't overlook the fact that De Koning was really good last week when he went forward. He's the one that kept them in the game early when they needed a couple of goals. He was the one that converted for them.
Yep, he was. So sticking with Brisbane.
I am sticking with Brisbane, and I know I've played it safe 2 weeks in a row. I got punished last week, but surely the best two teams for the year get through.
Yep, you'd think so. So we'll watch with close eye. But
hang on, does that mean you've dropped off the Blues again?
Yeah, I was just waiting for that. Hopefully,
you jump on and off like you wouldn't believe.
I just can't trust them at the game. I've got to go with Fags in Brisbane. You can't win every game at home and your first final and then lose a prelude. Like, that would just be, that'd be a travesty. So
yeah, I thought, look, truth be told, I thought they were a little lucky to beat Melbourne. Melbourne should have put that game away last week. Just looked like they might be running out of a little bit of gas. But we'll see. Hopefully, a couple of cracking preliminary finals.
Couple of crackers, Collingwood, Brisbane for us. We're back to preview the GF, the big dance, Chief. Enjoy your week.
100%. Cheers.
Thanks for joining us, Fox Sports Lab AFL.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.